our guest is actually someone that I got a chance to meet in university. He his name is Ivan, and I'm actually trying to send him this link that I sent earlier. So Ivan is a performer, and he is actually quite a great performer. He's someone that actually worked with us on a project, and it was really great actually. We did do something called the Nyaupe Boys. So Ivan was basically playing one of the Nyaupe Boys, whereby him and another performer that worked with us actually got into the pond at the Wits University. It was a very beautiful pond actually, and they got inside the pond. I don't know if I asked him to get inside the pond. I think I'd said just be around the pond. Maybe I did ask him to get inside, but it was actually the content that we have on Facebook that was the most viral.
I'm a new pep boy, and I'm trying to make it. Yeah, man. I'm a new pep boy. I'm a new pep boy. And I drink red wine. Cause I speak in tongues. Cause I'm staring at that sun. I'm just trying to wash your car. In the full of siloma. Cause I'm a new pep boy. Just give me a topic, cause I'm that damn topic. Cause I'm a new pep boy. Yeah, I take my vest off, yeah. Like a walk one man. Yeah. I'm so high like the sun. And I'm a new pep boy. New pep. And I'm trying to make it. Cause I'm a new pep boy. You hear the angel swing. You hear the angel swing. Cause I'm crying like a lion. Cause I'm a Nyape boy from Braamfontein. Oh, yeah, guy. Cause I'm a Nyape boy. Come on. I take my best off here. Yeah, man.
You can actually see Ivan on TV. He's actually done some really dope uh, adverts, and yeah, he keeps getting these adverts, and it's not easy to get adverts. It's not even easy to get I'd say an agent that's like really good. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have the man of the hour, my man.
Hey, what's up? How you doing? How you doing? What's up, bro? How's
I'm
things
good.
going?
How you doing?
We give thanks, bro. Every day is another day to actually be great, to level up, to accelerate, to evolve. So it's always a blessing, bro.
All day long, man. That's what's up. Yeah, man. I was just telling the guys that you in the field of entertainment and performance, and so, man, tell me what's the latest gig or performance that you've been involved in?
Uh, well, as you know, there are certain things obviously that cannot be told because if the work isn't out yet, we can't speak of it. But the most
Okay.
recent work I did was for an alcohol brand here in South Africa called Castle Lager for the AFCON. So this year, South Africa managed to go to bronze, and I guess in some way the universe kind of like translated that, and I won my own bronze in a sense, or medal. Let's put it that way.
Oh man, damn. Okay, tell us about that. Like, what was that process like?
Um, Damn, I feel like you could diving right in, and there's gonna be so many open-ended questions that are gonna come out of this. But how I got into it is I just went to auditions, man. It was a casting call. I went up, um, and I put my best foot forward. It went through it went through three phases. So for those who may not know, you get called into a casting. You go to the first initial audition, and then if you're shortlisted, then you most likely will bump into the director, where you get a more one-on-one experience, and maybe where you can actually see applies their directorial like skills.
Okay.
to drive you to image.
I think just speak a little bit louder because you're
But now,
very faint.
oh, am I faint
Yeah,
as hell now? Okay, I'm gonna project.
yeah,
So
yeah.
the last bit I said.
You were talking about the. It was actually very faint, so I was actually trying to listen in. Yeah, just
The
tell us
site.
again.
Oh, so basically, how the industry works is you go to a casting call. After the casting call, if you're shortlisted, which sometimes most people aren't, if you're shortlisted, then you're going to meet the director on a one-on-one.
Mm.
After the one-on-one, hopefully, fingers crossed, you are able to take direction, and then it lies in the hands of client. Because I think a lot of people assume that it is the director or the casting director. I mean, they do play a hand in who they put forward, but I mean they put forward talent. They put forward exactly what potentially the client or director is looking for. But the final call, once you guys have been like cut down to or chopped down to like 4 or 5 people as an option, the client comes in and then decides, listen, person I want.
Awesome, awesome. That's pretty dope, man. Okay, so I'm sure you got paid Ching-a-ling for that. I know Edward's pay, man. Cost a logger. That's what's up.
Listen, we are on a podcast right now. I don't know how much we talk about. But no. To be completely frank with you, I think this would be the ideal space to do it. Don't believe the hype. South Africa does not have royalties. That's why the South African Guild of Actors has band together with other fellow actors such as myself to really get us into a space of really valuing the quality of talent we have in South Africa. And sadly, we do not get royalties, and sometimes contracts do not reflect the talent that you see before you. You know, so
Okay.
it was good. I'm always eternally grateful, but I do believe there's a lot more work in the provisions, or let me say, in the way artists are actually handled or taken care of in forms of monetary and longevity for their work.
I see. I see. I remember the first time I saw you on stage, man. I knew you were gonna be like someone sensational in the industry, someone who was gonna actually break through and just show us magic. Because when I saw you performing for I think it was your first year exam. I
Yeah.
still actually remember like how blazing that was. And I think that you've really just you've continued to shine. But I mean, how does that where do you get that fire from? Because I knew a lot of people that were talented that I just thought they were going to smash, but they ended up dropping out of university. They didn't do any more work. Like, what kept you going?
Uh, my mom, God, and just it was just a matter of how bad do you want it. I mean, I would be lying if I told you that I didn't have moments of self-doubt and you know like hatred for everything I'm doing. Because the reality is, coming from a black family, predominantly in South Africa. Uh, at first when you tell your parents I'm going to go study drama, they're like, "What? Like,
Yeah,
are you sure you want to do this, bro? Like you want to spend my money so you can go do something you already can do without it?" And yeah, it took a lot out of me. So the battle wasn't just that stage in that first year. The battle was already just leaving home and making that conscious decision and being intentional about what I'm doing. Because you're right, there are a lot of people that were even in our year. Um, I mean, I hate name dropping, but even Tuso, for instance, she was in the industry. Well, not in the industry, but forgive me. She was in the School of Arts. For those who don't know, it's the School of Arts. When I'm in the School of Arts, and there were many other people who were very notable. Yeah, that we always called out by name. Within the school fraternity, and seeing her obviously just magnified as she has in and around the world. it's just motivational, to be completely honest. So I draw that source of motivation on just how badly I wanted, how I also personally feel like this is not just simply something I did and saw and I felt like it was a hobby that I've now that I've grown up and I've been in the industry for some time. I feel like for many people, and I feel a lot of artists would agree, it feels almost as if you were ordained to do this, you know? You were sent to do this. And um, you find the purpose or the meaning or the why in the journey as the journey continues. Because I do feel like, and I think you probably will know the feeling too, that it's you're always constantly revising. Everything suddenly becomes new. Everything starts to be like, wow, okay, this is there's that sensation I was wanting, the relief. But then again, you always drift back into boredom and then slide back into tension and then back into relief. We live these constant three stages of emotions, which all emotions, in my opinion, are derived from boredom, tension, and relief. And I think we just live off that through. It's almost like the same way every day you gotta eat and have a glass of water or something like that is the same way I feel about my crop.
Wow. Now that's special, man. That's a really special, you know, elaboration of the whole experience, man. Thank you for that. So, man, I want to ask you, what is like the favorite, uh, one of the most favorite roles or one of the most memorable roles that you've played?
Mm, wow. Okay. This is a tough one. So,
Like one that you enjoyed the most, where you're like, yo, man, that was dope.
uh, darn it. Okay, there was two of them. I mean, is there a limit? Are we supposed to have a
No,
limit?
no, no, no. As many as you like.
I really, 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 I enjoyed doing. Okay, sorry, three. So yeah, so
Okay.
Risen in the Sun, or Raisin in the Sun. My apologies. Raisin in the Sun. Who was directed by Noe Iman. And I don't even want to start to begin to unpack the magnitude of talent that was on that group, but wow, that's all I can say. Many of whom are doing so well from themselves, whether behind the scenes or in front of the scenes. But I mean, that was one of those most like really shaping paramount moments in my varsity year. A second production that, and this is no in no particular order, a second production that I loved to bits, and probably the largest production I've ever done in terms of like lines and length was No Good Friday. No Good Friday, where I played the role of Guy. Small context is basically setting us back in 1960s, if I'm not mistaken, 1960s, 1970s, apartheid, and basically an inspiring jazz artist trying to make it in the big city. So I felt that was very close to home. Just sometimes feeling complete despair and lack of faith in self. But I mean, as theatre does, it starts off and then it just becomes this entire healing process by the end of the production or the show. The third production, which now moves away from theatre, was actually I shot an advert for SA Tourism. I'm still currently running for Pan Africa, and I think that by far was the most sort of rewarding experience as an actor, because every actor wants that whole glitz and glam, pampering, and grateful enough to say that I was able to go to like all nine provinces of South Africa via my craft, and I think that was a very pleasing moment for me in my life, I could say.
No, that's dope, man. That's dope, man. No, that's very special, man. You know, a lot of my students are interested in learning about performance, learning about create the creative industry, and I always wonder, like, especially as an actor, like, is there certain age where it's like optimal to start learning? Like, is it possible for someone who's like maybe a preteen or teenager to like get into the industry, like not just learn, but like actually get involved in production and the whole work behind actually getting a show ready? Like, is that a possibility for young guys?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, of course, provided that your country has provided that you're not child labor, someone's not enforcing child labor.
Sure.
Yeah, because I mean, we do have a lot of mental programs, but I think we don't have a lot. We could do with more. Let me actually be honest. We could do with more um, mental programs because I think it's it's crude of us to assume that the only way you can be an artist or an actor or what have you is by going to an institute. And the reality of the world we live in now, most people don't even need to do that. Any random Tom, Dick, and Harry can walk off the stage, from the street and onto the stage or in front of a camera. And this goes back to what I said at the beginning. At the end of the day, client is looking for it. Because I mean, the industry we're working in is so high paced, so fast paced, that a lot of people's tastes, and by a lot of people, I mean the audiences, change, shift. And what you'll have is you have like a period in time where some particular niche of people are being desired to meet people. And I feel like you don't really have to go to any sort of school or institute right away. If you have the face, if you have the presence, if you carry yourself well. It's just a lot. Of course, there's always room for improvement. There's no way around it. Eventually, the more work you get, the more you'll be compelled to obviously hone into those qualities that make you really, really strong or that draws up more sort of business. So as a teenager, I do believe you can definitely get into it. I do always feel like it's important to have the right guidance behind you so that you're not taken advantage of, or you actually going through the process step by step. Because personally for me, I started off as a teenager doing theater and acting. And many of my friends know that since like primary school, I was like the atypical class clown. And as I got into high school, I mean, there was like clubs, in school, choir, drama club, and those were things that I actually partook in. And I feel like that's what most people should really strive for, something that you're interested in, start early, so that you can have that, because that's where you get that, where for those people who let you just walk off a street corner and to the silver screens, um, you can come in and do 10 times more, 10 times better. And it's not about competition, it's always about the quality. It's always about the quality. And there's no substitute for time and the hours you put into something. So the first good start is starting. Uh, yeah.
Okay, awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah, man. I want the young guys to, catch as much as they can of what you're saying. And like, are there? I know, like, sometimes you can't speak about, productions, but are there future productions that people can look forward to seeing you starring or featuring?
Absolutely. That's all I do. Every year we gotta put on work. There are people who need to eat. Yes. People who need food. And you know what? It's not about that they depend on me or that I feel like this immense amount of pressure, but things need to be done. The pots need to be cooked. Let's dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is definitely expect some work from me this year. I have also relocated to a different area where I think will give me, or I believe will give me the reach that I'm looking for. So yeah, Cape Town will see a lot more of me. Let's just put it that way.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And for like guys that want to follow you, because like sometimes it's not easy to sort of, catch you live in the moment. Like, how can they follow you? Or do you have like a channel or a page that,
I do.
you,
At the most active page right now. Also, another thing, if you're really going to be in this industry, it is imperative that you start working on your social footprint, your digital footprint. Work as hard as possible to get it out there. It doesn't really matter, but it's always great to have an archive of your work, because then when people look at that body of work, they can always, I mean, it's your testimony, long and short of it. But if you want to find me, it is at Navi Vanta. It's NAVIIVANTO. That's on
okay.
Instagram, on Twitter. And then on Facebook, if you want to find me, it's Ivan. That's Ivan Dos Santos, DOS space SANTOS.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, man, I want everybody to, make sure that they can catch you and also view some of the work that you've done, man, because yeah, you're a star, doggy. It's very clear. It's very clear,
Listen, we were speaking over the phone before we jumped into this meeting that this is this is by far this is what I would call a full circle, because the very first interview I ever did was actually with you. Once upon a time with a camera, sitting at the cricket pitch at the Wits University, crusty looking.
But I want to ask you something. How did you come across making the choice of casting the people you cast in your show?
To be completely honest with you, the first time when I started, coming up with a group idea or people to work with, I try to go for something that isn't expected. So I really try to go for the extreme.
Oh man.
And look, we didn't know that. Look, you didn't know that. 8 years down the line, you would have been all the way in China, and I wouldn't have realized that I would have done as much as I've done with the industry. So this is definitely something awesome. This is freaking awesome.
No, it's amazing.
Let's even go right now. Having this conversation is mad confusing. You get like, okay, I think after this, definitely going to have the conversation with an Oscar. Let's do it. The record show. We're coming for the Oscars.
Coming, my man. It's done. It's done. Yo, man, Ivan, doggy, I definitely want to have you on the show again, doggy. I want to hear, what the transition has been like, from Joburg to Cape Town. I want to follow you to see, what else is it that we can learn, what are the opportunities like. And then when you go to America and you start smashing, getting Oscars, we want to, have that on, on the channel too. So, my man, I really look forward to all of your success. I know you're going to blaze. It's inevitable. Thank you so much for coming through.
I receive. And yes, definitely. For those people that are out there, don't be shy to send me a message. I am somebody who's probably have 1,000 things going on, but reach out. Sometimes the people on the other side of the screen aren't robots; they're humans, and I'm more than willing to, where I can, help or give guidance or advice, because I think that's one thing that within my own personal career I had to go through a lot of fumbles until I eventually knew what was the right step. Yeah, Chris, you've been amazing. This was like a therapy session, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at this guy. Fuck it. Love it.
No, man, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming through, my man. I can't wait to see more of what you're doing, and we'll definitely keep in touch, brother.
All right, my king. Thank you so much. Peace out to the rest of you. They're watching. Love and light, man.
Much love there. Have a good one.
You too, man.
Peace. Away. So, ladies and gentlemen, there we go. We have another smashing guest on the show. Ivan is on another level. I hope you guys really contact him. I hope you guys really, reach out and look at the body of work that he's done, because I'm telling you, Ivan does not stop. He just keeps on blazing. And so, guys, hey, I told you, we bring you the best of the best of the best of the best. It wasn't easy actually getting this one on, but hey, we did it, man. It's a success. So, guys, stay tuned for more bangers. The guests just keep getting hotter and hotter. So, yeah, thank you so much.